Please help me give a warm Realtor welcome to Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you, Will. All right, thank you so much. I know you can see me, so I hope you can hear me back there. And thank you for mentioning treating us poor elected officials with respect. We don't get very much of that around here.
You do here.
No, thank you. Well, like I told the inmates at Holman Prison yesterday, I really am glad to see you all here today. No, that's a little Attorney General humor I picked up. I really cannot tell you how good it is to be among friends. And Danny, thank you. Gina, thank you. You have a fabulous team. I love this fabulous facility. My office is literally right next door, so Danny knows where to find me, and my office door is always open for you. My interest has always been in making sure that businesses and individuals are successful in the state of Alabama, that you're small businessmen and women, that you're employing people, that you're selling real estate, because that leads to tax revenue, it leads to jobs, which means stronger families, stronger schools, higher tax revenue, and all the good things that come from that. So I promise you that my job, as I think of it every day, is to come in and figure out how we can make Alabama a better place to live and do business every single day. I think it's the greatest place in the world. I think Alabama is the most fantastic place in the world. It's beautiful, it's welcoming, and I want people to come here and enjoy it and buy homes. I have actually, part of my practice before I became Attorney General was to get involved in a real estate investment company that is involved in purchasing and fixing up and reselling residential real estate. Is more red tape or people getting in the way of you're trying to run your business is the way you know how to do it. So I promise you that's what we're looking after. I can't give you much advice about how to deal with the legislature. I have my own problems in that regard, but I promise you you'll be well received. There's nothing more significant to a legislator to see someone come from their hometown who knows their community and tells them exactly what the issues are, because that's who they listen to. And so your presence is hugely helpful. I want to again thank Danny for his leadership. We've worked very closely together. One of the things that I inherited when I came into office, and I'll compliment all the leadership of the association and individual members, and I've worked with many individuals, Anthony and others, on this issue, but we experienced the worst environmental disaster in the history of our country 2 years ago. The anniversary date's coming up in about a week when the oil spill occurred in the Gulf of Mexico. And I tried to put it in perspective the other day when I was speaking to a group in Alexander City, because sometimes if you live in other parts of the state, you just don't think about what happened. And I said, what would you happen to your economy if the entire coastline of Lake Martin had oil on it? That's really what happened. And it's taken us 2 years. Knock on some wood, the economy has come back on the coast. Things are recovering. But it was a catastrophic tragedy. And my job has been to make sure the people of Alabama, the state of Alabama, is kept whole in that process. And I'm honored that the judge appointed me the coordinating counsel in that lawsuit. Those of you who are on the coast, and it really has implications across the state, know that the private plaintiffs recently settled their case with BP and others. That's a $7.5 billion with a B settlement for private plaintiffs. There's a lot of complicating factors. There are other people who didn't hire lawyers, who weren't in that litigation. They've all had to deal with the Feinberg process. This is an upbeat meeting, so I'm not going to mention Mr. Feinberg at length, except to say that it took a lot of elbow grease to get him to do the right thing at the coast. And Danny and the leadership in this association was very instrumental in getting that done. And we have one person devoted entirely to working with real estate companies, realtors, individuals, businesses, trying to make sure that they get justice in the process. And there's a new process now that settlement's been reached. So there's a lot going on. I'm honored to be the Attorney General. It's a fantastic position. My door is open to you anytime. I thank you for taking time out of your business day, week, to come down here and make a difference. I'll finish with this. I encourage people everywhere I go. Most people aren't crazy enough to run for office or get involved in politics, but I encourage businessmen and women to get involved in the political process, support candidates that you like, that have your agenda. It makes all the difference in the world. And if you don't do it, somebody else will do it. And believe me, you need to be doing it. So thank you for taking time today, and thank you for having me, Danny. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
just wanted to reiterate to the membership that we are doing everything we possibly can to make sure we hold BP accountable in the process to make sure they make up for the economic and environmental losses caused by the oil spill in the Gulf. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary. My hope is that we'll have a trial in New Orleans within the next few months, at which time we're going to do everything we can to make sure BP makes it right, which is what they've promised to do.
I know you're very pro-business in Alabama, and real estate is a big business in the state. So could you just kind of give us some words of encouragement for business owners?
Well, I can promise you my office is doing everything it can to make sure we have a pro-business legal and business climate in the state. So I can assure you of that. The good news, I think, is Alabama is a place that people want to live. It's a wonderful state. People are moving here. I've been personally involved in recruiting industries to come to Alabama. They want to come here because of all the good reasons that we know about. So I would be very encouraged about the prospects here. People want to come to a warm climate that has a welcoming business environment, and that's Alabama.